at my current jewelry shows now that our new line has come out. So this is what I'm going to be showing you today, is to show you the 4 different fashion segments that I show at my shows. Okay. Now, for those of you here on, that's okay. It probably auto-corrected. It's okay. All right. For those of you here on Periscope, thank you so much for joining. Those of you on YouTube, thank you for joining us here as well. So I am looking forward to being able to show you some of these different things. So I guess today our Mandy is going to be named Buddy instead, right? Thanks to that autocorrect. All right. So I'm going to be showing you the 4 different looks. For those of you on Periscope, if you enjoy what you're seeing, as far as these combinations go, please make sure that you give a lovely little flow of hearts for me so that I know you all are still there, because you guys know how funny Periscope can be on Fridays. I don't know why, but that at least lets me know that you guys are still there. Okay? All right. So we're just going to go through this just like we would at our show. So the first thing we're going to be showing you is our silver look. Okay? Now, for our silver look, the first one that I'd like to show you is our Grand Canyon. Okay, now this piece is absolutely gorgeous, and Premier has done such an amazing job of making sure that they have built versatility right into this piece. So what I mean by that is you're going to be able to use the double lobster claw closures that are on the back, and you can use those to crisscross behind you and be able to pull that wherever it is that you would like that necklace to be. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I am just going to use one of these lobster claws to hook on one side, and then we're going to bring the other one around, and we're going to hook that on this side. And then what that does is that will just keep it at whatever length it is that you would like that bib necklace to be. Okay, isn't that gorgeous? Can we get some hearts on Periscope? Yay, yay, yay. Awesome. Now I'm going to hopefully turn her just a bit here, because I need to be able to show you something else that they did with this necklace that is just amazing. So what we're going to do is each of these 3 sections can come off. Okay. So you actually have 3 individual sections here. So what we're going to do is, because some days you might want just a little less, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how you can take just one of those sections, add that back to the necklace, and you can do a much more simplified look. All right, get that on there. All right, now for this one though, I would probably want to be able to do this one just a little bit longer. So we're going to put this down long again so you can see the difference. And for those of you familiar with the Premier Designs line, this is going to be a little reminiscent of our Lively necklace. Okay, this is basically our silver version, if you will. Okay, but the other cool thing is this pairs well with our triplet necklace, because guess what? With our triplet necklace, this comes with 3 removable bibs, okay, that these can also be used on these chains, all right? And this, as well as the other 2, can also be used on here. So you are going to get lots of different looks, because with that triplet, you're also going to get this one, all right, which is a little more of a simplified look, more of a casual. And you will also get this gorgeous one, okay? So you get a chance to be able to mix and match and use all of these different bibs in different ways using the chains. Now for me, I would complete this look with our trifecta bracelets. They are beautiful, and these are what I like to call my no man bracelets, okay? I don't need no man to help me get dressed in the morning. I can get dressed like a big girl, because they are stretch bracelets that will allow me to put them on without fumbling, okay? The other one that I pair with this is the XOXO bracelet. Now, if you can't see, this does say love right across here. And then Premier even thought down to the smaller details where on the inside, it actually has 1 Corinthians 13:13 placed right there on the back side of that. So I absolutely love that. That has lots of sentimental meaning. I would also pair the Grand Canyon earrings with this. How gorgeous, right? And especially if you're going to be mixing the triplet strands with your Grand Canyon, I love the Fun Times bracelet. Okay, so that has the silver as well as the black. Then to top it all off, we have our new Make Time watches. Okay, I love these watches because you purchase the face, so you make your choice of either hematite or silver, and then you can also choose from one of 4 different bands, 2 of those bands being reversible. So as an example, this particular band is silver on one side and it's black on the other. So you would be able to, again, depending on which color you want to pull out more of, if you want to pull out more of the silver or more of the black, you just decide which side of the band you want to use. Okay, so that would be our silver looks. All right, so we're going to take that one off. Next, we're going to show you some gold looks. Okay, so who likes gold? Is there anybody in the room who prefers gold? If you prefer gold, just put a 1 in the box. Just let me know. While we're checking that out, many of you might remember a favorite. Okay, this is Sway. You like both? Me too. It all depends on what color I'm wearing that day. Okay, so this is Sway. Now, Sway is gorgeous. It has these beautiful crystals, has these little crystal stations and these beautifully cut beads that just capture the light. It's going to shimmer and shine. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, it's beautiful, beautiful. All right, now, this also comes with 2 different colored tassels, so you can make your choice which one you'd want to use. You have the coral color, or you also have the turquoise tealish color. All right, so you can make your choice of which one you want to use. But for now, we're going to keep that off because I want to show you how beautifully this layers with the new Harper. Okay, this necklace here is called Harper. It is absolutely beautiful. It has these just warm tones to it. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, now the other awesome thing is, again, Premier puts lots of thought into what they do for us. So I want to show you, first off, it has a removable extender, so you can choose to take that strand off if you don't plan to use it. And then it has the double lobster claw. Okay, now a lot of people might say, well, what is the purpose in having double lobster claw closures on a necklace? That doesn't make sense to me. Well, let me show you. What you can do with a double lobster claw is a couple of things. One, you could choose to do it as a Y-shaped necklace. Okay, and now if this is a little long for you, then you can just bring this up. I'm truly hoping, by the way, that my Mandy doesn't fall. Because I have her balancing. She's doing a little balancing act on a container of some sort here. Okay, so you could choose to do that as a Y shape. However, what I really want to show you with using those lobster claws is we're going to do what is called a faux double. All right, so for those of you out there who like the look of a doubled necklace, but you don't like when one strand gets shorter, the other gets longer, you find yourself playing tug of war all day long with your necklace, this is a way to avoid that, okay? So just like you were going to do a Y shape, and then you're going to kind of turn this off to the side. We are then going to bring the other one over. And we're going to hook that wherever it is that we need to make sure that it lays where we want it to. Okay. This look is one of those where there again, you could do this with jeans and a t-shirt, but you can also dress this up. So I want to show you some of the other accessories that I would pair with that. First off, we have choice of bracelets here. These are a favorite for me. These are called bands of gold. Can you see? Can you see? They are gorgeous. Gorgeous. I'm trying to make sure everybody can see, okay? These are gorgeous. And then we also have the Goldie bracelet. Now, this is a new bracelet. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. And now this does have a toggle closure, and it offers 2 different lengths. So you can make it whatever length is most comfortable for you. But isn't that beautiful with that? Okay. Love it. And then these earrings have just been going crazy. Okay, look at this. People have been going crazy over these. These are called Luna. Aren't they amazing? Okay, can you see that gorgeous little shimmer there? So I personally love how they look with the Harper, because they tend to pull out some of those cream colors as well as from off of the sway. So I love that with that. And then we also have our gold crown watch. The thing that is awesome about this is it has that boyfriend watch kind of trend, but they did such a good job of girling it up for us by adding all these beautiful crystals. The Luna, is that the ones that you're referring to? I'd have to look, but that's what they look like. They look like they would be mother of pearl, but I'd have to double check that for you. Okay. All right. And then I think that's all we had on that one. Okay. Next, we have our trends. So how many of you are digging rose gold? Do you love the rose gold? If you do, I want to see a lovely flow of hearts on Periscope. Or you can comment in the comment box and let me know if you love that rose gold. So the first one that I would like to show is the blush necklace. Now, here's the awesome thing. As jewelers with Premier Designs, we often talk about framing. Okay, so framing is when you are just taking a longer necklace and framing it around a shorter necklace. So I always tell all of my guests at my shows, if any of you ladies have been considering becoming a jeweler, even if this is the only technique that you ever learn, people will think you know what you're talking about, okay? So you could do something like this that's already framed for you. It's already done because they have all 3 of these hooked together. And you can then go to your friends and say, you see what I did here? This is called framing. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay. And they're going to be like, oh, doesn't she know what she's talking about? Check her out, little fashionista. Okay. So this is an awesome piece because here's the thing. Again, Premier has built that versatility in for us. So all 3 of these strands can be worn together, hooked together, and using just one clasp, or you can take any one of them off and they come apart and can be worn individually. So any of those necklaces that you may want to take off of there, look at that, okay? So you can create your look, all right? So for now, we're going to take that one and just place that in the back for now, okay? Hopefully it doesn't weigh Miss Mandy down too much, all right? But I want to show you how to frame this with another piece that is one of my favorites, and it's from our previous line and still current, is our Sunkissed. Okay, I am a little bit infatuated with this piece. Okay, we'll just say that. It has this beautiful long layered look, has these tiered strands. Look, when this first came out, I took one look at it and I thought, this is going to be a heavy piece. Like, look at all those strands. That's crazy. But this is by far one of the lightest pieces that I have. Okay, so I'm telling you, if you like big, bold looks, but perhaps you suffer from neck or back problems and you like that big, bold look, but you can't stand having the weight on your neck, let me tell you, this is a piece that you're going to want. Okay, it is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Now, some of the pieces that I would pair with that would be the Presley. How many of you are loving these bracelets? I'm telling you, it has these beautiful kind of greens and mint green, and then it has that with the rose gold look. It is awesome. But again, Premier and their versatility, okay, they just really hook us up because it has this little extender that is hooked on there. You can take that off and wear any of those bracelets individually, or you can wear them all together and have this beautiful little charm just hanging off there, okay? Gorgeous. Then for those of you who might like bangles, but perhaps you hate trying to get them down over your hands, or perhaps your hands are too large for you to be able to put them down over, no problem. This is a hinge closure bangle, okay? So you just open it up, pop it right on your wrist, and you're good to go, okay? Now, don't forget, ladies, the reason why you want to make sure that you are decorating your wrist is because that is the smallest area of your body. So y'all, if you draw attention to the smallest area of your body, you're just going to look that much thinner, all right? Now, while we're talking about looking that much thinner with our looks, that's the other awesome thing about the long layered look. It's going to give you that long, lean look. So, y'all, I don't know about you, but I personally, I don't go to the gym, okay? I do my jewelry aerobics instead. So, I put on long layered necklaces, as well as the other thing that you can focus on is your earrings. Earrings that are the size of a quarter or larger are going to give your face a slimming effect. So let me show you one set, actually 2 sets, that I love to pair together, okay? So this is the Julia and the Rosebud. And let me show you what we did here, okay? So we have hooked the Rosebud into the Julia to be able to create 1 earring using 2, so you get the look of this. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. And it's using these 2 separate earrings. So you can see there, I have those separated. Okay. So you can see what they look like alone. But I just adore the way they look together. Okay. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now, I got to show you the watch. All right. You got to see the watch. This is called Rose Factor. Isn't that stunning? Truly stunning. I love the large faces. And what I can tell you is as we age, we prefer those large faces, okay? It makes it that much easier to be able to see. But then having that beautiful rose gold tone, even though this is a larger watch, that rose gold tone is going to allow it to still have that feminine factor to it, okay? So that's a great piece to have as well. Now, our final look, we are going to show you, is going to be our mixed metals. All right. Now, by show of 1 in the comment box, how many of you were taught that if you're going to wear silver, you wear only silver, or if you're going to wear gold, you wear only gold together? Don't you dare ever mix those metals. Okay. Most of us were taught that, but let me tell you something. That rule is long gone, so get that out of your head. Some of the other fashion rules that are long gone is that your handbag must match your shoes, or that you can't wear white after Labor Day. There is such thing called as winter white, so make sure you are enjoying that this season, okay? So let me show you a little bit about the mixing of the metals. This is very much on trend, and while for some, it might feel like you're kind of stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit, we're going to show you some great ways to be able to incorporate those mixed metals without just totally blowing your mind, because it seems so strange to be mixing those metals. So let me show you. First off is our Twice as Nice. The reason why this is an awesome piece to bring into your wardrobe is because if you want to wear just silver, you can wear just silver. If you want to wear just gold, you can do just gold. Because guess what? Both of these pieces come apart, can be worn individually, but you can also have them hooked together. So again, you're dealing with only 1 clasp, okay? But again, Premier is so awesome that we have yet another removable extender, okay? And this seems like such a silly little detail, but I just think it's adorable. Have y'all seen these little crowns that they have added to the ends of their jewelry? Like that, I just think that's adorable. I just think it's adorable. Okay, all right, so let me show you. We're gonna take this apart. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we're going to take this apart for a moment because I want to show you, just in case you prefer a shorter look. Again, using those double lobster claws, we can bring this shorter. All right. So maybe we want to bring that one shorter and have it a little up high. Okay, that is a very chic look. And then we are simply going to add the gold one right back to it. Okay, so now we did what again? We did framing, right? Okay, so now we have that framed, but guess what? We're going to take it one more step. For those of you who like a big, bold look, okay, we're going to go one more step, and we're going to add the willow, all right? Now, the awesome thing about the willow is the willow has the silver, has the golds, has the rose gold tones. It even has these little turquoise beads throughout. Now, the awesome thing about turquoise is turquoise on any skin tone is very flattering. It's going to add color to you regardless of what your skin tone is, okay? And then having all those mixed metals in one necklace, maybe you're going, you know what, I really don't know that I can do that bold to mixed metals. Well, what about just that one? Then you have your silver, your golds, etc. And you could choose just one or the other to add to that, okay? So if you have just the gold, it's going to pull out all those gold beads. If you do just the silver, again, it gives it a totally different look and gives you more of the silver that I didn't have my coffee yet. Okay, that tends to stand out when you have just the silver on there. Oops, I forgot to show you the rest of it. Okay, so the things that I would pair with this, how exciting was this? Okay, let me just start by saying this. The gold stilettos, they came out not that long ago, and when they came out, I fell in love with them, and I thought, oh, they're so gorgeous, and how awesome would it be if they had silver, and now they do. I was so stinking excited. Okay, so regardless of which one, you could get either the gold or the silver stiletto and be able to wear those with either of your Twice as Nice or your willow or any of your other mixed metals, all right? Or maybe you're more of a stud girl, okay? So maybe you prefer the smaller studs. We have the Shine Bright set that comes with a gold set as well as a silver set. So you pay one price, you get both earrings, okay? Now let me show you something else that's just as good, because when you pair our Three's Company bangles, again, you're going to pay one price, and you're going to get all three bracelets. So you're going to get the silver, the gold, and the hematite. All right, so depending on, again, what colors it is that you want to pull out in your outfit, might depend on which ones you wear, or maybe you wear all three to truly take that mixing metals trend to the top, okay? All right, so ladies, that is what I have for you. I'm going to put Miss Mandy down here, and we're going to go to some questions or anything else that you ladies might have. So tell me what you thought, or tell me what your questions might be. Did you notice how as soon as I put her down, the lighting changed? Craziness. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Okay, so here's the other thing that I want to show you that I did do. And this was taken from Miss Diane Leahy, so I cannot take credit for this, okay? Now, her page looked a little bit different than mine, but I got to show you this, all right? This is, do I show the signature pieces? I show those at the table. I show those at the table, okay? All right, so this is a little form that has the silver look, the gold look, the rose gold, and the mixed metals. So this goes in every single one of my customer folders, so they can follow along. And as they see pieces that they love, they can check mark it, okay? Then guess what happens? When I'm done showing all four looks, and now mind you, I don't do all four looks at one time. I do a silver, and then I share a couple of things, and then I do the gold and share a couple other things, and etc. But I show all four of them before we get to the hostess benefits, okay? Before we get to talking about the hostess benefits and before we get to our deal or no deal, I would have shown all four of these looks, okay? So here's what happens. They check, they check, they check, they check, they check, they go through, they probably have at least 8 things check marked on here. So then guess what happens? I start talking about the hostess benefits, and I explain to them that, ladies, if you have just 2 or 3 items on your wish list, then perhaps you want to just go ahead and be a customer. And that's fine too, because we love our customers. However, if you find that you have seen more than 2 or 3 items this evening, and again, they would be looking at their list going, oh my goodness, okay? If you have more than just 2 or 3 items on your list, you might want to consider being a Diva Did and be able to get that list for free and half price. So get the items that you just can't stand to be apart from any longer. Get those items tonight, and the other items that are still remaining on your wish list that you can't get this evening, we can help you get those for free and half price at your very own show. Okay? All right. Now, do we have any questions? I wanted to make sure that I pointed that out, because I used that last night for the first time, and it worked very well with people being able to, like, I was really surprised how many of them were actually using that to check mark off. And we did come home with 3 bookings, and we only had 4 guests. So that was a good thing. Okay. Yes, Diane Leahy. It can be in place of a wish list, okay, but here's the thing. I also have a wish list form in there. So I have the little wish list cards from off of the service store that are also in their folder. So as they're going through the catalog, if they are seeing more items that they want to keep track of, then they can do that on there, or they can even do it on the reverse side of this form. So it's totally up to them. Yep. Any other questions? Okay, so as far as what do I share in between each set, I don't have my flip chart right here, but you can actually see my flip chart if you happen to be on Buffy's Toolbox group. You can see that, yes, it is on the Toolbox group. It is under photo albums and flip chart. So basically what it looks like is we go through, and I'm doing this by memory, so if it's not the exact order, forgive me. But basically what we do is we thank our hostess, we introduce our guests, we introduce ourselves, and then we go into the silver. Okay, we show the silver look first, then we go into introducing Premier. So we talk about how Premier just stands out to us, which is the fact that they are debt-free, the fact that they put people above profits, and the fact that they wish to enrich the lives of every person. Okay, and then we go into the gold. From the gold look, we go straight into the golden guarantee. Okay, see how we did that? And then once we do the golden guarantee, we show the trends, which is our rose gold, and we then go into the 5 S's for how to take the best care of their jewelry. We then show the mixed metals, and then we go straight into our hostess benefits, deal or no deal, and then our sponsoring activity, and we're done. So yes, so that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's the order it goes in. So the awesome thing is they are being interactive. They're seeing lots of different things. And in fact, all through the show, they're also playing the game of, when they hear me say jeweler or jewelry lady, be the first to say my name, which is Buffy Hood. And they're then going to have the opportunity to get extra auction dollars. So the cool thing is even as you might have heard me mention, when I was showing on my Miss Mandy, or my buddy, when I was showing the framing technique, I throw little seeds out there of, just in case any of you were thinking about becoming a jeweler, but maybe you don't feel your fashion sense is there. Guess what? Even if this is the only technique that you ever learn, you're golden, because people are going to hear you talk about framing, and they're going to be like, oh wow, she really knows her stuff. She knows what she's talking about. Okay. So, and I tell them that could be the only technique that you ever learn, and that's okay, because you can do that with so many different pieces. And now Premier has even given us pieces where it automatically does that for us. Yes. And here's the thing, because not everybody is into the fashion. This is why I separate. Not everyone is into the fashion. They are seriously there to buy a pair of silver hoop earrings, and they don't care what else is being shown. So I don't want to bore them to death by having 20 or 25 minutes worth of fashion all grouped together, where for 20 minutes they are not interacting, they're not engaging, they're not whatever. Okay, so if we split that up into 5-minute segments that are strategically placed into our presentation, then it seems to have a better flow to it, because as I'm sharing why I love Premiere and why I think Premiere stands out from everybody else, yes. Well, because here's the thing. I want them to see the jewelry, because that's the only way they're going to know if they have more than 2 or 3 items that they want to get, is if they've had a chance to see the jewelry and see all the awesomeness that is the jewelry. Okay. So that's why we do that way. So yes, we have really tried to do that. Thank you so much for that. And you are very welcome. You're so very welcome. Do we have any other questions? If not, I'm going to let y'all scooch as soon as we do one other thing, because y'all know this is Fashion and Faith Friday. All right. Any other questions? I'm going to see. I don't know if I can sit on this and y'all still see me or not. Can you still see me? And that's better, because I can be closer now. So now I can see my screen better. All right. I honestly have no idea, because I'm not even sure if I knew that Diane had a website. Is that awful? I'm not even sure that I knew Diane had a website. So I truly have no idea. I'm sorry. Yeah. Basically, what I can tell you of Diane's sheet is, because she is, she's sanguine. So like, she doesn't get wrapped up in details. Like, she just wants to have fun. Okay. So, her sheet does not look like this. Hers is literally like if she would have just typed it out on a Word pad, and it's just like 2 columns. It's not broken up like that. I don't know. For me, I just felt like this kind of separates it a little bit better. And truly, because I was doing this for the first time last night at a show, I needed that sheet, because I needed to make sure that I was remembering the names of the pieces, and that I was remembering what all was supposed to be shown, etc. So I figured, for me, there again, it's going to kind of zero them into where they're focusing on that particular look that we were looking at. I did not place that on my toolbox yet, because I didn't want to spoil the surprise of what I was going to show you today. So it will be on there this afternoon. Yes, absolutely. So for anyone, again, that might be watching on YouTube, yes, Diane's is very basic. Yeah, hers is just like, she's like, no, like, we're not doing any frills here. This is, these are the names. Here's a little line. If you want to check mark it, great. Like, hers is just very to the point. I am such a visual person. I needed to jazz mine up a little bit, just because that's me. I just needed to do that. So yes, do we have any other questions? While we're waiting to see if more questions come through, I started to say, those of you watching on YouTube, if you are not familiar with the Buffy's Toolbox group and you are a Premier Designs jeweler, I only accept Premier Designs jewelers into this group. So if you are a Premier Designs jeweler and you would like to join the Buffy's Toolbox group on Facebook, please feel free to search for that and be able to request to join. I will get you added. You're so very welcome. And so here's the thing, on that group, any forms that I create, my flip chart, graphics that I create to be able to use on Facebook or send out in text or things like that, all of that stuff is there. So, you know, even the pictures that I take of the jewelry and that kind of thing, that's where you can find all of those things. So, because I would always have people who would say, hey, I saw you post that on the Jewelers Only, and I can't find it again. Can you tell me where to find it? So now I can just say, yep, it's on the Buffy's Toolbox group. So absolutely. All right. Well, if we don't have any other questions, we are going to very quickly just get into our faith a little bit. And one of the things that, and I'm not going to hold you guys up too long because I know we've already gone a little bit over our normal time. But here's something that I wanted to share with you is so often we tend to be in such a hurry, myself included, in such a hurry to get on with our day that we forget to take time and take that quiet time for our Lord and Savior. And if I could just encourage you to make sure that every single morning, start it off in your morning, take, even if it's just 3 minutes, take time, quiet time to be with your Lord and Savior, where you are just thanking Him and speaking to Him and asking for His direction and guidance throughout the day. Because here's the thing, you will find that on days that you do that, your day is going to run so much smoother. And here's the thing, not to say that you won't have bumps in the road, but what happens is you tend to be able to handle those bumps in the road much easier when you have had your time with Him in the morning, because you know He's there for you. Okay. And that is such a huge, huge thing. When you do not have that time with Him and something goes wrong, you tend to get in a bad mood. You tend to get in a bad place. And then something else goes wrong. And then something else goes wrong. And before you know it, you're going, oh, great, this is just going to be one of those days, one of those days, one of those days. Well, it doesn't have to be. It does not have to be. Start your day off with Him, with quiet time with Him, asking for guidance and direction from Him. And chances are your day is going to go much smoother, because when those bumps happen, you're going to be prepared for it. You're going to be able to rest secure and be assured that He is there for you and He's walking with you every single step of the way. So that's just my little tidbit for today. Take it for what it is. But now, They did. Okay, so the question was, did my kids get the sponsoring monies that they needed for their mission trip? They did. In fact, it was our oldest daughter, our youngest daughter, and our oldest daughter's boyfriend, who all three of them are doing a out-of-state mission trip to Missouri. Actually, Saturday. They leave like tomorrow. Okay. And they each had to raise a minimum of $100 each. And I'm so proud to say that they each earned $135 a piece. So instead of us turning in $300, we were able to turn in $405. So that was just awesome. That was just awesome. Yes. So God provided. And the funny thing was, my daughter's boyfriend, Adam, he was very concerned because he didn't think he was going to be able to raise any money. He kept going, I have no idea who I'm going to go to get these, this amount. Like, I just don't even know. But he walked the neighborhood with my girls, and many of our neighbors also sponsored him. Many of our family members also sponsored him, and many of our church members also sponsored him, even though he's only been going to our church for a very short time. So I just thought that was just wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. So yes, the Lord provides, and all three of what I call our kids, because Adam's here all the time, I just consider him one of our kids. So needless to say, all three of our kids are going to be going off to Missouri tomorrow, and they will be gone for about a week and 2 days, I believe it is, and assisting at a summer camp through Youth for Christ. So I'm just thrilled to see them having this opportunity and being able to do that. So yes, absolutely. All right. So do we have any prayer requests at this point? I'd be happy to take any prayer requests. And I think for those of you here on YouTube, I tell you what, we're going to let you scooch, because you were probably here for just the fashion and faith portion. And unfortunately, since this is being done through the link only, I don't know that I have the ability to be able to communicate with you. So I'm going to let you guys scooch, but please feel free to come on over to Periscope and follow us live there. Thanks.